Rahim, with God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. I witness there's no God but God, the one and only. And I witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah, to whom the Quran was revealed, this Quran, over 1,400 years ago, is his messenger and seal of the prophets, a mortal human being who God says in the Quran of him is a uswatun hasana, an excellent model of conduct, an excellent model of moral excellence, a model human being who is the leader for all people. He's called in the Quran a Rahmatul Alameen, a mercy to all of the world. So dear people, dear believers, again, I want to greet you again. Assalamu alaikum. Imam Mustafa Muhammad, our leader, the son of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, an educator, author, businessman, a man who was raised up by God and given the Quran and given wisdom and given a position to help his people and to help the world. Dear people, Imam Muhammad communicated to me today that he would not be able to make it. Or let's put it this way, he indicated to me that he wanted me to give the public address, that he had all of the faith and the confidence in my ability to go on and give this public address. Well, all praise is due to Allah, because he knows his people, and I know his people. So I'm going to ask his people to be patient with me as I make some comments and represent him in this particular situation. As you all know, the topic was or is the importance of knowledge and education in achieving community progress. Now, I want to be as realistic as we possibly can. Muhammad the Prophet, may the prayers and peace be upon him, he used to reflect in the cave. We know Islamic history. He used to reflect on the condition of his people in the world. And while he was reflecting on the condition of his people in the world, all alone, all by himself in a cave, it came to him, it was reported that Jibril gripped him, squeezed him, and said, read. He said, I can't read. They gripped him again, read. He said, I can't read. They said, he squeezed him again and said, read in the name of your Lord. He qualified it and gave him the focus. Read in the name of your Lord who created you from a clot. Well, you have to know that when it was expressed to me to go ahead and do this public address before all of you all, I said, I can't do that. And I spoke to some in the family, and they, you can do it. I said, but I can't do that. I said, there's some heavy hitters out there, and this is a heavy and big responsibility, especially with all that's going on out here in the environment. All of what's being said and what's being looked at in the controversy, and El-Amin he's leading the ASM, and is Imam Muhammad with him, and is he not with him, and we're going to see now all of this. I mean, this is the weight of the world. Can you do that? I can't do that unless we attempt to take on these responsibilities in the name of Allah, in the name of God. If we do it fearing only God, loving God, seeking to please God, seeking to answer to God with sincerity, with righteousness, with good intentions, no matter what the situation or the criticism of the criticizers are, if God is with you, you can do it. So I'm approaching this, dear believers, in the name of Allah, who created all of us from a plot, the most bountiful, the all-knowing, the all-wise, the all-powerful, the one who lives and does not die, the one who is at all time active in the upkeep of this creation, the one who controls all of the affairs of the universe. I'm doing this, and whatever we take on, if we do it with that faith, with that belief, we will be able to achieve. It's about responsibility. The importance of knowledge and education in achieving community progress. Well, dear believers, people, friends, guests, Muhammad the Prophet, as we said, would reflect in the cave on the condition of his people, all alone, by himself. And the first thing that was commanded of him was something concerning knowledge and education. He was told to read. To read. He's known as an uneducated man. He was told to read. And as a result of the command being given to him to read, and him reading and the Quran being revealed to him, we observe the precious month of Ramadan, in which we fast, etc., but it's really a month of education. And the prophethood in our religion in that sense began in education. A book was revealed. And when you talk about education, we talk about books, pencils, pen, etc. So the importance of education is the essence of our religion. Our whole community, our whole religion came into existence as a result of the Quran being revealed to a mortal human being. And that Quran, the wisdom of that Quran, spread throughout Arabia, all up into Europe, over into Africa. And then, in time, as a people of African descent, who themselves, many were Muslims, but in time, as we were cut off from this education, the Quran, taken and put in bondage, taken from our motherland and people in Africa, stripped of the knowledge of self and of God, stripped of our culture, stripped of our life, stripped of our history, stripped of the Quran, denied the opportunity to read. During slavery, if you was caught reading, your eyes could be pierced out. Cut off from Islam. But in time, the power of Allah and the power of the Quran, it jumped over eventually the Atlantic Ocean. It flew over time and space, and it landed here with us in the belly of the beast. It landed among a people that was cast in a shallow grave. It landed among a people that were hit in the head. It landed among a people who was denied knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And it landed here in the shores of America. And as our history tells us, it landed in Detroit. It landed in Detroit. a mystic man named Farad. He brought all kinds of symbolism. But he brought the words, the Quran, the words of Islam, although the pure message we know was shrouded. But he said, and we most certainly know we're no replacement for Imam Muhammad, so we won't be long at all. But we have a responsibility. And we must, dear people, we must, whether Imam Muhammad is here or in Chicago or in Atlanta, wherever he is, we must carry out our responsibility. We have a responsibility, and I've said this in most of my talks. I say this with conviction. Brothers and sisters, Imam Muhammad, our religion commands of us to be men, to be strong-filled as men, not to be afraid and cowards and always dependent on Imam Muhammad or dependent on someone else to take us by the hand like little damn babies and we're grown men and lead us through the world. That's not what he wants, and I have no doubt in my mind that since I've been saying that, Imam Muhammad said, well, let's see what you're going to do since you say that so much. Well, I can't make it. You're going to crumble and fall now, huh, Mustafa? After all those talks of stand up, brother, stand up, sister. Well, let's see if you're going to stand up or buckle at the knees like a baby because I'm not here. You go face my people. And I'm here. And I'm here because I'm you. I'm you and you me. I'm in this community with you. I'm not a stranger to you and you're not a stranger to me. And no matter how steep the controversy and the criticism, El-Amin is going to reorganize the ASM. Imam Muhammad resigning, El-Amin is back in. I don't care how much the criticism, I have a responsibility. And if I have to stand before those that say he has a right to do that, and those who say he's out of touch, if I'm in this situation, then I must stand up as a man, a Muslim and believer, and deliver the message. Imam Muhammad said, don't cancel it. I have all the faith and the confidence in your ability to do that, Mustafa. You'll know what to do. So, inshallah, briefly, we're going to make a few more comments. And if we was to say nothing else, if there was nothing else that we could say, please, brothers and sisters, but brothers, let us come to the staunch reality that we don't have to be regimented to an extent that our leader, who is laboring and has labored for over 30 years, have to say, sit in that chair, or go to the bathroom, or clean your house, or don't clean your house, or open a masjid, or don't open a masjid, or go where you want to go. No, brothers, we can't be regimented to that extent. We have to grow and be free thinking, independent thinking, but having as the concern our community progress and development. Community progress. That's what we have to have in our minds. Accepting responsibilities for our communities, for our families, for our schools, for our life. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. You will be in a situation, I will be in a situation. Imam Muhammad, as we know, is working so hard. But I'm not saying anything most of us haven't heard at some point or another. We don't need a crutch. He doesn't want us to have a crutch. We had a crutch before. We used to blame the white man for all of our shortcomings. We used to blame him for all of our lack of progress. We used to blame him for all of our shortcomings. But when he became the leader, he said, I'm going to kick that crutch from under you and make you stand up like men and women. When he became the leader, he said, I wasn't looking for men and women. I was looking for empty vessels to put men and women into. So we need to accept to be men and women. Learn our religion. Know what needs to be done and step forward. And don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Fear God. We say we believe in God. We say there's no God but God. But we act like we fear men. We act like we fear circumstances. We act like we fear armies and weapons. But if we fear God, who controls all things, who brings things into existence and take it out of existence, if we only fear God, no matter what the circumstances are, if we only fear God, that will move us forward. And we see the state of affairs in our communities. The fear, the genuine love and fear of God is out. They say they took God out and put the gods in. So as believers, as a community, no matter what, fear God. And if you have good, honorable intentions, if you have taqwa, regardfulness, and you mean well, you're sincere, you want to do what is right, you want to help, if you have that spirit, then God will be with you. And our leader, Imam Muhammad, will be with you. If you have good intentions, well-meaning, you want to help the community, you want to do something that is good and noble, then know that God is with you. Know that our leader, Imam Muhammad, is with you. People can say all kinds of things about our leader. But above all, as I know, he's an honorable, decent, sincere, thoughtful, caring person. That's what he is. And he wants the best for you, me, and our families, just like he wants for his. And as we know, he makes all kinds of sacrifices. But in my opinion, naturally, we must support his efforts, his initiatives, the Mosque Cares, and all of these things. But in addition to that, what really helps him and helps us and helps our community and brings honor and dignity to us is when we accept the responsibility to control our own communities. When we accept responsibility to have our own businesses, our own schools, our own social, civic organizations, when we accept responsibility to run our own lives, that brings honor and dignity to us as a people, us as a race, to everything that we're about. But if we lay around like weaklings, like sheep, like little babies, and wait for someone else to always tell us what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, we will never, ever, ever be seen as an upright and dignified people that we really are. We have to accept that responsibility. And what helps us with the responsibility? Knowledge. Knowledge and wisdom. Our former teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said, in order for you to be equal, and he used this language, to the white man, you have to have equal knowledge or superior knowledge. But in addition to that, you have to be willing to go along. If you all don't mind, I know many of you all here are from the old school. Many of you had experience in the lost found nation of Islam that was in the wilderness of North America. Now, by the way, I used to be Robert 105X. Now, I know there's probably a Robert 2X in here somewhere, meaning that for the media and others, that I was the 105th Robert to join the temple here in Newark. The 105th one to join the temple here in Newark. In Newark, which means in California, there could have been another 105X, Robert. The 105th one to join it there, correct? And the X, we said meant unknown, meaning we didn't really know our names, our original name. But it also meant a little more than that. I'm a school teacher, and all of us have been to school. If something is correct, they put a C. If something is incorrect, they put an X. So what the message really was is the name that you have, Jones, Johnson, is incorrect. It's incorrect for a black man. Now, these European names, it may be a good name, it's fine for a European or whoever, but for a black man who was from Africa, who had Islamic name and African names, it meant that that name you have is incorrect for you, black man. Not necessarily the name was bad or wrong, it was just an incorrect name for a black man from Africa at that time. But where we want to go with that is, Mr. Farad, we had a lesson, and the lesson said, or the student enrollment, he said, my name is W.F. Muhammad, and I came to North America by myself. My name is W.F. Muhammad, and I came to North America by myself. Well, what does that have to do with anything? What the message we can get from that he was saying to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and what we can get from that today, is that as leaders and as visionaries, you have to be prepared to go alone. He said, I came into North America. In symbolism, North is a symbol of darkness. And as we know, the sun rises and, the North is cold and all that. He was prepared to go alone into the dark areas, to go into dark regions alone. So he was telling Elijah Muhammad and telling us, if you have a vision, you have a plan, you have an idea, you have to be prepared to go alone. Be prepared if it's your project. If it's your project, your plan, and although you want to bring others in, you have to be prepared to see it to the end yourself. You have to be prepared to go alone. So that's the message. Whatever we do, if you initiate a school or any of these things, be prepared to initiate it and to go alone. As Imam Muhammad said, he's prepared to go along with any of us are with him or not. The prophets of God were like that. Leaders, good leaders are like that. Knowledgeable leaders are like that. Be prepared to go alone. But did it mean he didn't want help? We're taught that he searched throughout America looking for some help, right? And he found great help in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and those pioneers who came and helped, right? So be prepared to go along. That doesn't mean you don't want help. That doesn't mean you don't need help. Of course, look for help, but the responsibility falls on you. If Imam Muhammad said to me, Mustafa, I expect you to go ahead on with the public address. What am I supposed to do? Turn it over to Joe Blow? I need some help. I made some calls and sought some advice. But I got to do it. And you have to be prepared to go alone and to see it through. And so, dear believers, with all of the talk and the controversy, and for many of us, we know each other. I'm here with you all. No matter what Imam Muhammad came here to say, and no matter what the topic was, you was waiting to hear him say something about the American Society of Muslims, the ASM, and how that related to Mustafa El-Amin. No matter what, for some of us, for his topic, that's what you wanted, that's what many wanted to hear. So, dear believers, let us focus on what has to be done. And I'm saying that to say, whatever it is that we do, if I say, as I have said, that what I'm doing, I'm prepared and have to be prepared to go alone. Seek help. Seek guidance. But be prepared to go along, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Great nations, great organizations, great people have stood up, and they were prepared to go along and to die for what they believed in. So in these and I must say, realistically and in all honesty, as you all know, Imam Muhammad, the son of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the one who God has raised up for us today, who has been working so hard on behalf of for us and for humanity, that he has been teaching and working to raise up students, people who pay attention, people who listen, people who try to grasp the commentary and the overall message, but not just for themselves, but to help him and to help the mission, to help it move forward. While he's here, when he's not here, to help this thing go forward, to help it move forward. And many of you, as with myself, are students of Imam Muhammad. And if any of us stand up here as leaders and think we know something and articulate and people clap for us and don't give credit where credit is due, then we're nothing but hypocrites. Ungrateful people. Ungrateful people. So we must give credit where credit is due. And all praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. So, dear believers, we want to close with a reading from the Quran. God says in our holy book, he says in the Quran, in Surah chapter 2, ayat 177, called Bir, called the ayat of righteousness, And he says what righteousness is. He says, it is not righteousness, that you turn your face towards the east or the west. But it is righteousness to believe in God and the last day and the angels and the book and the messengers, and to spend of your substance out of love for him, for your kin, for orphans, for the needy, for the wayfarer, for those who ask, and for the ransom of slaves, and to be steadfast in prayer, and to give in zakat or charity, to fulfill obligations which you have made, and to be firm and patient in pain or suffering and adversity, and throughout all periods of panic, such are the people of truth, the God-fearing. Surely God speaks the truth. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And for those who don't know what that means God is greater than anything. God is greater than anything. So being cool, firm, patient, resolved during times of panic is righteous. If I'd have come in here and fell all to pieces, I'd have been unrighteous and might have went to hell. With that, I greet you, dear people. Assalamu alaikum. Excuse me, I was given a note that there are two young people who would like to take their shahada. There are two young people. I don't they'll have to come up here, who would like to take their shahada, and that is shahada. For those who may not know, it is stating the kalima, the word la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. It means that, an expression, a word. But excuse me, when they state the kalima, it is transformed into what is called the shahadatain. The kalima stands alone, la ilaha illallah. But when one utters it, it becomes shahadatain. That means you are witnessing to the kalima. Shahadatain, there are two things that you say. So we have, you may come closer. I guess I'm